My brother called me. This is the finished makeup look. It's not like crazy great. I was gonna do something blue because like that's like her makeup thing right now. Her like crossover with Ultra, but it's like the stupidest crossover I've ever seen in my life. I don't even. But yeah, I'll be back in the fit. This is the fit, you know, we got. It's like, this is supposed to have a supergirl symbol on it. That's why I'm upset about the shirt. It's like, it's fine. It's sitting right there halfway, not even halfway done. I'm not dealing with it. Like, that is, I do want to do it eventually with this shirt. I think it'd be really cute. But I actually really like this shirt in general. I think it's a really nice color. And it was in like a section of Target I like never go into. And then I got my jean skirt that I've had forever, one of my mom's belts, which I could actually tighten, but whatever. And then I have it like partly tucked in. And then I have like just this sun necklace with another necklace that has like a charm that always falls off, and just like little gem earrings. Yes, I do have my AirPods in. But yeah, Loki didn't paint my nails. I guess I could do that right now. Because I mean, I'm literally not doing anything until 8, until 9, like basically 30 is when we're leaving. And I don't know where my shoes are. And I don't know what socks I'm gonna wear. But we'll figure that out later.
We're here at 9:30.
Yeah, we are. Are we excited to see this movie?
Yay.
Okay, he's so excited. I think it's gonna be I think it's definitely gonna be a 4.5 star movie. Probably a 5 star with the like though. Chaz, what do you think it's gonna be?
My expectation is 3.5 star.
Okay, well, yeah. But I'm so excited. Right after the movie reaction is that it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I rated it 5 stars. I do think it's recency bias because I don't think it's technically that good, but like it was really good. And a lot of like underlining of like sex trafficking, which was really like, well, not underlining, it was very pivotal in the plot. Which I actually I liked. Like attention to it I liked. But yeah, it was really good. And I actually really enjoyed it. It was really good adaptation, except it literally got rid of like the one thing I hated in the comic. I thought was like really weird. It made probably made more sense to people who were like read more comics, but like I haven't. So like I don't understand that part of the comic. But I really enjoyed it. I'll do a more in-depth like run through of it. But your girl is tired, and I don't want to like go like really off of recency bias for that. So like cut to that. 30th, so it's been 5 days since I watched Supergirl, mainly because I just been busy, not vlog busy, but just like lazy life, hanging out with friends that's not needed to be a vlog. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit down and do this. Supergirl. The first thing that happened in my scene of Supergirl is I missed the first 10 minutes because my brother works at the movie theater, so we like got in like for free, but we had to miss the first 10 because they needed to make sure no one was buying tickets. Now I read the comics, so I knew exactly what's happening. Spoilers for the first 10 is basically the girl's family dies and Supergirl goes to Earth, is what I heard based off what my brother said. Like I already knew that. I literally walked out because I thought we only missed the first 5 minutes, and we walked out and I was like, those are the 2 possible scenes that it could be, and my brother was like, those are the scenes that it was. So I know what I'm talking about. Supergirl as a character is like, I thought she was phenomenal. I loved the twist ending. I loved that she isn't this perfect person. It made like her so believable. I think the casting was excellent. Like I think that like I loved her hair throughout the whole movie. Like it wasn't perfect at sometimes, and I loved that. I loved it. It looked amazing when it wasn't perfect. It was just beautiful to see like that on screen. And she was like a mess, and I love that. Like I love how they made her this like real person that's going through like a depression. Like she's going to be depressed for her whole life, but she's not depressed in the sense of like, oh, she's so sad, like the typical depressed look. No, she is like depressed in the way that she's still living life, but she is like miserable. And I just love how her relationship with Ruth, I never like, obviously I read the name, I don't remember it from the movie, so I'm just gonna call her Ruth this whole time. And like, I just love how she was basically like, this isn't mini me, and she acknowledged it, but she even then was still like, I'm not responsible for this. This isn't my responsibility. Yet she still stepped up because she acknowledged how she was someone that was stronger, how she like basically became this person. She became Supergirl like throughout the movie, which is like the whole point of the movie. But it was just really beautiful to see. For her backstory, I've seen like a few TikToks being like, that's not right, and I'm like, it is, because there's 4,000 versions of it. It's just which one you want. In this book, I'm pretty sure that's the accurate one. The best part about comics, in my opinion, is that like I can read a comic and like a panel can be like, oh, blah blah, this happened. I can be like, no, it didn't. Like, no, that's wrong, because it's like every comic says something different. So like for her backstory, I remember reading it and be like, huh, that's weird, and ignoring it because I was like, that I don't like how that is. Which I was fine with the Argo thing. I just didn't really like the whole like, I don't know, like it's the age thing. The age thing is like, I like Supergirl being stronger than Superman. Also, that like gives more like, I feel like accuracy to like the whole Supergirl stronger than Superman, which is totally like the case in comics. Some people like differ that. I'm like, no, she is stronger than Superman, and that is a fact. But pretty much other than that, like the comic was pretty accurate. There's like a few differences, but I thought it was pretty accurate. That's something I'll talk about later. But then Ruth's character, beautiful, executed. I feel like I could be wrong, but because it's been years since I read this comic. I'm just gonna talk about the comic real quick. It's been years since I read it. I read this before the movie was announced that it was going to be on this comic. So you know I was happy. I had this displayed before the movie was announced. So you know I was happy. This is my favorite comic I've ever read. Gorgeous. Just amazing. Is it my favorite comic I've ever read? Yeah, it is. I think the Robin and Batman like watercolor one is really pretty, but that's not like, story-wise, it doesn't do anything for me. This one I think is gorgeous. Story-wise, it's amazing. And the movie reflected that. But I hadn't read the comic for a while. I thought her dad was the only one that died in the comic. I could be wrong. And you're like, Katie, it's right there, pick it up. I'm not going to. I don't care enough. The first scene I watched when I was watching the movie was the drinking scene. So like the introducing of the meeting was beautiful. Like honestly, the fact that they introduced that like that, I was like, why is the first 10 minutes there? Like I get it, it sets up the story, but like honestly, I don't think it's needed because it's flashbacked later. And I think you understand the general point, but I think it's because I read the comics. I'm not really sure. But my brother seemed fine. He didn't even watch the Superman movie. So, Lobo controversy. Lobo was like really in the marketing of Supergirl, and everyone was like, why is he in the marketing so much? And okay, I am actually gonna pick up the comic. Oh, it's actually dusty. Yeah, he's not in it. And if he is and I'm wrong, then whatever. But yeah, Lobo's not in it. Now, I've read the actor's name, but the Aquaman actor, like, he wanted to play the role. James Gunn loves the character. The writers, by the way, the writers, not James Gunn, wrote the movie and he obviously put him in it. And then James Gunn was like, yeah, this is a great movie. And it was a great movie, by the way. I rated it 5 stars. But, like, marketing Lobo, yes, I do agree. They marketed him way too much compared to Ruth. Like, Ruth should have gotten so much more marketing. I don't know why she didn't get so much more marketing, but she didn't. And people are like, it's sexist. You're right. It probably has something to do with sexism. But it's also just because it's James Gunn's favorite character, or one of them. He just really likes that character. So there's more to it than just whatever. And Ruth, her species, I think, ages faster. So she's like dead, basically now. Like she's gone. Which is like, oh, that sucks, but it's also like, whatever. Like you can't do anything about it. So she as a character is never gonna return. Lobo probably is gonna return in a different like movie or show or whatever. And so there's a reason there's more marketing around him because he's a stronger character to stay in the DCU. But like Supergirl should have been the front runner, and she was like a very prominent part. But her and Lobo were getting like a bit of equally marketing. Unless you're talking about the actresses and stuff, then they were getting more marketing. But like, yeah, there's a bit of a controversy there, but I don't think it was as bad as people are saying it is. Like, but because Lobo is just happens to fall into all these categories for James Gunn to market him more. But like Supergirl obviously is gonna return, so it's kind of like, what? You should have marketed her more. So I don't really know. I don't know why they did that. Okay. Crypto was in the beginning, and then he like gets poisoned, same as this. Wasn't he kidnapped? I don't remember. Okay. Whatever. I liked what they did. I loved the alien species design with like the nurse for the crypto's like poisoning thing. I thought it was like it gave Star Wars, which is like I'm not a huge Star Wars person, but I do respect the like the look of Star Wars. And I like the prequels. Those are my favorites. But like the aliens in Star Wars are made so well compared to everything else. And so I'm very impressed with how they did that in Supergirl. Like they made the aliens look really alien. Like they don't look like weird and like make believe. They look like they could exist on another planet, which I think is phenomenal. But yeah, Crypto throughout the movie, great, adorable. I actually kind of liked him how he was less involved, and I feel like that's controversial, but I think it adds more to the movie because so far Crypto's the only character that's been like the strongest character in DCU, which I think is hilarious. So I liked how he had kind of, even though he was still in this movie in a huge part of it, I liked how he had to step back. Like he was less of it just because of the why he was so big of a deal. And I know that's probably an thing, but also the dog looks super CGI, and I'm someone who can't really see CGI. Like I don't really tell the difference, but the dog, like, but they have to do that because they can't find a dog that flies, shockingly. With on the CGI note, Supergirl's flying, I thought it looked fine. I thought it looked the exact same as Superman. That's just how they do flying in this universe. You got to get over it. It's because they do fast, which means they go in the 0.5, because I think that's, like, also think about how, like, jets, they're probably doing it based off how jets are done. Like, aren't jets in, like, a 0.5? If I am wrong, I don't know what I'm talking about. But, like, that's kind of the vibe I think they're going for. Also, the slow-mo fight at the end, perfectly fine. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Superhero movies do. They do slow-mo fights. Oh, the villain design. I forgot his name. Shoot. The villain, the red hair guy. Yeah, it was an interesting switch. I bet there's some like, because always movies like to do this where they grab stuff from like communities and then they like put that into the movies that we're watching to like reflect back on our history or society or whatever. I bet that's what they're doing. I don't know what society they're drawing it from. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's just a personal choice they chose to do. But I mean, I thought it was fine. I thought him being with the ponytail was perfectly fine. I think it was a different character when it pulled up. I was like, who's this random character? And it just turned out to be him, and it was like fine. I was not beat up about it. You know what? Because I don't care about the stupid man, and I don't care, genuinely. Soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was perfect. I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was amazing and like awesome, and it just had this amazing story to it. And guess what? I fucking liked the cover at the end. I need to find it because I need to add it to my playlist because I thought it was phenomenal. That song was playing and I went, wow, like this is a great song. And then I go on TikTok and everyone's like, this song sucks. I'm like, shut up. And everyone's like, it's from Ruth's point of view because not everything's happy. Yes, because not everything's happy. Everything like is terrible in her world. Her whole family's dead, and you guys are upset that they're not playing the happier version of the song. I did notice there was more music in this one than Superman's. I thought that was interesting because like James Gunn, like that was a big thing that Superman did, was like only play like 2 songs. But this one was more typical movie, and I liked it. I liked the songs. They were wonderful songs. I will say, Supergirl was wearing that Blondie shirt for like the first like bit of the movie. I thought it was a Renee Rapp shirt, and I was like, wow, I can't believe they're putting a Renee Rapp shirt in this movie. Like I was so interested. I was like, what song is Renee Rapp gonna sing? But it wasn't. It wasn't. My next topic is like very serious. So the sex trafficking in the movie was one of my favorite things a movie's ever done, because not only was it just straight there, it was like, this is what's going on, it is sex trafficking, there's no analogy, there's no nothing, was that there was in the alleyway where they did the weird zoom in, oh my god, we're literally talking about sex trafficking, when they did the zoom in with the camera to the family being dead on the floor, it was supposed to draw the audience out of the movie to make them think about their reality. At least that's how I see that scene being done, because that's what I would do to make that scene be shown. And I think that's very important, because I think people need to realize how big of a problem sex trafficking is in our world, like especially of young girls. Like, it is such a problem. Like, when people are like, watch the cars pass you, it's because they don't want you to get kidnapped and sex trafficked. That's, or like, I'm talking about women, obviously. With that, which yes, men get like blah 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 too, but like, it is so much more of a problem for women. It is a huge problem. And it's just so sad that this is like the reality. And this movie draws so much attention to it. It is so like good about it. It like, it's not like being like sugarcoating it. It's not doing anything. It is straight there, and it is perfect, and it is wonderful. And it's like, you're not even like, oh, why is Supergirl saving these girls? It's like, obviously she's fucking saving these girls, even though she's not really the savior type, because she's like, these women are getting sexualized. Like, it just makes sense as a movie, and it's like beautiful and wonderful that we're drawing attention to this matter that matters so much. Like, I mean, it's a really serious topic, and I feel like people, like, if they don't care about the sex trafficking, they're not gonna like the movie. And I like, that's like one of the things I feel like people who don't like the movie are realizing. They're like, oh, whatever, you know? And they're like, oh, I don't care about this issue, so why does this movie matter? Because that's like half the movie is the issue. And it's just like a phenomenal movie, and I'm like so sad that that's how people are seeing it. My next topic is being compared to Superman. I already have done some comparison, but people really were like, the color grading is like dull, the like music is sad, like the blah 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 blah. Guys, because Superman was like an inspiration. It's supposed to be, you can do anything. And Supergirl is supposed to be like, this is our reality. This is things that happen, and they're sad, but you have to move on, because you can't stop your life because other people have died or something's going wrong or something. You can try to help them, and you need to help them, because some people are in situations where they can't do anything about it, and you have to help. But because that's the reality of our world. And what was the line? It was like, he sees nothing but the truth, but I see the reality. Or the line she says is, he sees the good in everyone, I see the truth. It might not be exactly like that, I'll put it on screen, but like, it's something like that. And yeah, that's what the movie's about. The movie is about how not everyone is perfect and good, and like there is these really weird, like, real world challenges in the world that like this movie is addressing, and people are just like running over it with no like remorse or anything. And they're like, why isn't it so bright? Why isn't it so hopeful? Because this movie isn't supposed to be bright or hopeful. It's supposed to be the realities. It's supposed to be the bad, the good, the trouble, the sad like issues going on to people that aren't you. Like, you are Ruth, you've been through trauma, you've been through whatever, but there is women literally getting kidnapped from their home and sex trafficked, and you've been through shit, but they've been through another shit, and you're like, you just have to live together in this world, and you got to help each other out. And that's the point. And that's the point of the movie. And then there's that one scene where it's like the women like shot the guy or something to like help Supergirl or Ruth. I forgot exactly. And my brother was like, that was cringy. I was like, yes, it was a little cringy, because I agree, it's a little cringy, but it's supposed to show how they're helping each other. They're helping each other out in this world that has done them both wrong, because even though they've been kidnapped and they've been extorted, they're still trying to help others, because that's the point of the movie. No matter what you've been through, no matter how bad it's been, help others. That's what this movie's about. The other one's like, help others. That's it. The other one's like, help others and hope you have a better life. Like try to make the world what you want to see. This one's like, help the world to be what you want to see. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like that's more of the tone. It's like the minor switch, but it changes everything. And that's like what it is. And the end credit scene with Superman, it was fine. It was mid. I saw a TikTok where it was like, first time Superman and Supergirl have been on screen together, and like whatever. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's a really interesting point. Because, you know, I have never really paid attention to it. But yeah, I mean, I think it matters, like, Supergirl as a woman superhero and how she isn't perfect. I've already mentioned that, but I think it's really important that she isn't perfect. Just being on screen with Superman and then being perfectly chill. Yeah, it was a little awkward, because guess what? Family reunions, they're a little awkward. And I think it's kind of perfect of a movie, like, ending. It's giving extra credit scene if it's not an extra credit scene, which I kind of love, because James Gunn was like, I'm refusing to do extra credit scenes, and they're like, we're gonna do it anyways. We're just gonna put it in. And I kind of love it. Like, compared to the comic, except I've kind of talked about that throughout the whole thing. But the one thing I want to say, thank God they didn't include that fucking horse. I do not understand. Like, I don't read a ton of comics. I read like occasional, and I'm like, I see like the online space of comics. There's a horse here. I'm just gonna show you guys. There's a horse in this comic, and I do not understand why there's a horse in this comic. It's like, she literally says, what is that? I'm like, yeah, what is that? Why is there a fucking horse? And then like the horse like dies and becomes like a man. I'm like, what? Why? Literally, why is this in here? Thank God they didn't include that. The whole time I was like, thank God they didn't include that fucking horse. Like, I don't understand why the horse is there. I don't understand. I don't understand. The horse made no sense. But again, it's probably some like comic reference. I just don't know because I don't read Supergirl comics. It's the only Supergirl comic I've ever read. And I want to read more, but I've never seen like a suggestion for comics of Supergirl, so I've just never read another comic of Supergirls because I only really read suggestions. And I have like 20,000 comics I need to finish. It's actually sitting right behind me. Not that, that's the Percy Jackson series. At the end of this comic, she doesn't kill him. In the movie, she kills him. Yeah, I'm gonna trust myself on that one. I love that change. Because I saw another TikTok and it was like something about the trope of like killing them makes you worse than them or something. Like, she broke that trope. I love that. I love that she broke that trope because it's never good to kill someone. Like, killing someone is a moral dilemma that is a choice that someone has to make. But you know what? His whole society is built on raping women. He has killed hundreds probably, and he's like a liability for her new friend Rue. Honestly, I think she's completely valid in killing him. Like, I think that he's a terrible person. Like, he is someone who is harming others. And I think if you're harming others, then there's a valid reason to kill you. Now, I don't think people should kill other people, and I would not be the one killing other people. But there is like a case in point in him. There's a case in point in, I look like I have a bowl cut. There's a case in point in like her killing him, and I think it's a beautiful way to summarize the story. Yes, we like lost some lines or something in the book or in the comic. I'm not gonna lie, that was always gonna happen. It's not gonna be a play-by-play. I thought it was pretty good though, like comparatively. Also on that note, crying and then walking away while Supergirl like kills him, beautiful. Absolutely fucking loved it. And then Lobo shows up on screen, because by the way, Lobo's in the whole fucking movie. Like, people are like, they're supporting him too much because they're going off the comic is what's happening. So people are like, oh, why is he in all of the merch, all the like the popcorn bucket or whatever, which was, by the way, like, I hate popcorn buckets like that because it's not even usable, but whatever. I don't even go to that movie theater. I go studio movie girl. Comic doesn't have Lobo. The movie has a lot of Lobo, and people like need to understand that that's the truth, is that Lobo is actually a very important character in this story. Lobo first appears, he represents like, this is someone who kills other people. This is like a bad person because he kills other people. And so like, through the movie we're like, okay, but he's kind of fun. He's kind of fun, he's kind of quirky, like, he's not entirely evil. He's just like a guy that's doing a job that, you know, isn't great. I don't know anything about Lobo, I'm not gonna lie, in the comics, so that's all I got. But you know, and that slowly, like, as we see Lobo get revealed, it leads us to Supergirl's whole, like, at the end, killing him, and killing the other guy. And I think there's something kind of beautiful about that, because that's what it's supposed to be about. Like, that's why Lobo's a very important character in this movie. In the comics, she doesn't make that choice. So it's like, that's why it's perfect for the comics. Lobo, he is basically the reason we realize that choice it's not black and white, it's very gray. And I think that's beautiful. I think everyone should be in the gray. No one should be in the white or black. So people are like, walked on, we're like, he's not even in the movie. He's in the movie. He's more in the movie than Superman. He's more in the movie than like Crypto. I'm not gonna lie, he probably is. He's pretty regularly like in the movie as the villain, like with the villain, like, you know. I thought he was a solid character. He's more in the movie than that one girl that died. Like, which obviously that's a different story, but like, yeah. I don't know. I'll probably buy like an action figure. I didn't buy one for Superman, but I'll probably buy one for her. And I'll put her probably like right there because this is normally more turned. But yeah, I just thought it was a beautiful movie. Wow, I've been talking for 30 minutes. That's insane. But yeah, this movie means a lot to me. I think it was a 5 out of 5 star movie on my letterbox. Now, I will say I did like the Superman movie because I like hopeful. I like inspirational. I did not like, or I didn't, okay, on Letterboxd is a heart. I did not heart the movie because I don't like movies that aren't inspirational. And this one's not inspirational, so it's not. I have 15 movies in my hearted ones. I watched almost 300 movies Letterboxd wise. It's a hard competition. You're not getting in there. Like, you know, I like this movie better than I like Interstellar. But they're different, so you can't really compare that. But like, that's to give you some reckoning on how much I like this movie. Because like, I like Interstellar. Interstellar is a great movie. Everyone likes Interstellar. If you don't like Interstellar, watch it again. You didn't watch it the first time. This is an amazing movie. Now, do I think everyone's gonna like it? Hell no. My brother, I think he said it was a 3.5 or 3 or something like that. And honestly, valid, because you know what? He's a straight white male. And that's who he is. Now obviously he does not support sex trafficking, but it's probably not as big of an issue that he pays attention to compared to me or my mom or some girlfriends that I have. Like, people are gonna have different perspectives on this movie, and I'm very aware of that, but I do think the movie is actually a really well-made movie. I think it's a really beautiful movie. I think the casting was perfect on every character. Every single one was beautiful. And I just think, like, overall, the movie was just a very special, beautiful thing. Now, my brother's favorite character was the bus driver guy, the small one. And I think that says something about him. But I can talk about that in a different video. My favorite character in this whole movie, and I never like to say this, but it's Supergirl. And now, obviously, it's like, okay, there are like 5 characters to pick from. I mean, there's obviously more, but that's the truth. There's like 5 characters. I don't like to pick the main characters as my favorite characters. Like, technically, in the Superman movie, Cat Grant's my favorite character, but that's mainly because I like her from the Supergirl TV show, and I just liked her in that show. I liked Jimmy too, and I liked I don't remember her name, so I guess I didn't like her that much, but the Selby girl. But yeah, that's it. Now, I will say, if I had to pick any superhero to have a movie, it'd probably be Wonder Woman, just because I think she would be more fun to have a movie. Which sucks because I actually think Ultimate Superwoman, or not, I think Ultimate Wonder Woman would be an amazing movie. I think that would be a phenomenal. I have not read the comic. I do own it, but I haven't read it. I just think, like, I've seen her. It just seems like it would be a fun topic. But if she was doing it, I mean, like, I don't like magic, so I'm like not a really John Constantine Zatanna person. Obviously Nightwing's up there. Oh, I think they are doing this, an original, like, Teen Titans movie. I don't know if it's the original, though. If it is, let's go. If it's not, that sucks. That sucks, because, like, they're amazing. I love, like, World's Finest Teen Titans. Oh my god. Like, Roy Harper, Wally West are, like, my favorite characters ever in comics. And they're, like, top of the list overall is, like, Roy Harper and Wally West. Like, I think they're both amazing. So I'd love to see that. I would love to see a Roy Harper movie, just Roy Harper. Like, we go through the kid, the drugs, the, like, to adult, to Leanne, and I would like to keep Leanne, please. Yeah, I think, like, sorry, I'm just, like, looking over at because I have comics up on my thing. I think, like, a Batgirl or, like, a Batwoman, like, the Woman in Gotham movie. Now, I'd love for all of them to have a separate movie, but I'm gonna be real, that's a lot of movies, so I think it would be cool to maybe combine them or something. I would love, like, an Oracle movie. I would love an Oracle movie, like her helping out different superheroes, like Justice League, Batfam. Like, that would be an amazing movie because it gives you sight on everything else. But yeah, I just think, like, all these would be good. I don't care about a Justice League movie that much. I do think we need it because I don't like the Justice whatever they have right now. I just find it boring. Whatever, but I do like the Hawk Girl in it. I think she's amazing. She was a really good character in the Superman movie. That's the thing, like, Superman had all these wonderful characters because it was setting the world. Supergirl was the story. Like, that's the first, like, story we've had that's a solo story. So, because Superman set up Earth, Supergirl set up space, and that's kind of what they're doing. Obviously there's other movies and stuff. So I just think that it's phenomenal, and I actually need to stop talking because this is 32 minutes unedited, and I'm trying to make this video less than 20 minutes. Bye bye.